capital. For more, we're joined by Bedri Baykam, Turkish artist, writer, columnist for Cumhuriyet newspaper. Thanks for being with us here on France 20.
Sure. Thank you very much. It was a good chance. I was in Paris. I have a show opening on Tuesday.
Where is it opening?
At near Beaubourg, at Galerie S. Beaubourg,
Okay.
in the center.
Right in the heart of the French capital.
An exhibition about Picasso's Demoiselles d'Avignon revisited.
All right, so that is, and that's not far from the Picasso Museum.
Right,
where
right, not
anyway.
far.
Let's first talk politics here.
Sure.
You just heard our correspondent saying that after the arrest of opposition leader Ekrem İmamoğlu, Turkey now going into a quiet period. A quiet period for how long?
Well, can you call this quiet? You know, like around, you said there's about 400 arrests today on the 1st of May, demonstrations today. I mean, because many of the workers or syndicates wanted to do the celebrations in Taksim Square, which is the heart of the city. This is where also I spend all my life because my art center, Pyramid, is in Taksim Square. So it's one of the symbolic places where the leftists, the Democrat people, they always want to come because there's been many deaths, unfortunately, on that Taksim Square in 1977 during the
and it was the epicenter of the biggest protests against Erdogan a decade ago.
Yeah, and when the Gezi protests happened all in Taksim and near at the Gezi Park, right near the Taksim Square. And now that since March 19, Imamoglu was taken in custody on March 19, and he was arrested and taken to prison on March 23rd. It was the day when our party, the CHP, elected Imamoglu as our candidate for the presidency. And among the 1,750 members of CHP, 1,650,000, 95% elected Imamoglu as their presidential candidate.
And there were huge protests at the time, the biggest that had been seen in years inside of Turkey. But just as this was a decade ago, time always seems to be on Recep Tayyip Erdogan's side. The protests, there was a holiday period, and since that time, the protests have gone down in size and in momentum.
Well,
Erdogan seems to always win at the long game.
Yes, you can say that so far, but I'm not sure in a sense that now CHP has two very strong names. One of them is the presidential candidate Imamoglu, who is unfortunately in prison, and the other one is the actual president of CHP, Özgür Özel, who was elected, in the last month of 2023 to the presidency, and he's very strong, and he's been organizing rallies, manifestations. Now, after the arrest of Imamoglu for 7 days in a row at the headquarters of the Istanbul mayor in Saraçhane, he organized 7 big rallies in a row. And then, since then, he's been organizing one big rally in every city every week, and one in an Istanbul district also. For instance, the 19th of May, there will be a big rally in Izmir, and probably millions will come. And he is very much a good symbol for the general leadership against of the opposition in Turkey. It's very interesting that he's been able to unite even leftist parties like socialist parties and some right-wing parties who have come to give him solidarity for trying to free Imamoglu, for making a public opinion pressure for the freeing of Imamoglu, and for the opposition for democracy, human rights, and equal rights against law.
And so what will it take to get Ekrem İmamoğlu out of jail?
I mean, this very legal pressure with demonstrations, with the CHP using its political rights, doing rallies and making press conferences, parliament speeches, is going to be very effective. But
even though the whole apparatus of the state is on,
but you see the fact. Go ahead.
Is on Erdogan's side.
The fact that he has been able to unite right-wing opposition and left-wing opposition in solidarity has never been seen in Turkey. During the Gezi protests, you still had millions in the street, but you didn't have a party leadership, you didn't have a leader, you didn't have a political perspective hope. Now, there is a party who is leading all these young people or old young people from all ages protesting, like they have accepted the leadership of İmamoğlu and Özgür Özel, and even the parties, the other parties, like the one of the one called İyi Parti, which is on the right, or the the Victory Party of Ümit Özdağ, and Ümit Özdağ is another leader in prison, and all these people come together and unite. Even the people who have no parties, they come and protest for equal rights, for democracy, and they cannot obviously digest the fact that İmamoğlu has been held in prison without any obvious proofs, without any way to convince people that he deserved to go to jail. So this is why those millions are so easily operational on the field.
All right, Bedri Baykam, your exhibit, once again, where is it being shown?
It's on Galerie S. Beaubourg starting this Tuesday, and it will last till 14th of June.
All right, and that's in the center of Paris, near
the center of Paris,
near the Beaubourg Museum. Turns out well, because Beaubourg right now is closed for renovation.
It's going to be closed, actually. It's still open. It's still open, so they can visit both. And it's a show about, as I said, revisiting Picasso's Demoiselles d'Avignon. It's an interesting show. I wish I wish Turkey was in a much calmer and more easy breath situations where we would be able to talk more art
about cubism instead of talking about politics. Many thanks, Bedri Baykam, for being with us here on France.
I thank you very much. Thank you.
Stay with us. There's more to come, more news and the day's business. Plus, we'll be speaking with an investigative journalist who's looked at the ties between Russia and the Central African Republic. In the mix, the export of gold.